Are Newcastle United actually getting a brand new stadium, or is St James's Park here to stay? Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. It's the international break, and normally we hate these, to be honest with you, but it's kind of welcome this week after our recent results on the road. Let's hope that turns around next week with Man City, but we'll build up to all that sort of stuff next week. Let's focus on the here and now, and the here and now is obviously international football, but it's less than 1,000 days. I say less than 1,000 days if it's a couple weeks' time until Euro 2028, which, as we know, is on home turf. It's coming home. The tournament is, at least. Hopefully the trophy stays in England colours. But for now, who knows what's going to happen. We've got Tuchel's side taking on Serbia and a big damn burn playing in those World Cup qualifiers, which we've already qualified for anyways. I think, haven't we? Don't know, losing track now. I don't even know what day it is, to be honest with you. It's been a mad one. Busy one. Last night, busy again, we were at the event, the launch event for Euro 2028, the official launch party for the tournament, because St James's Park is a host city. We will be having 5 games in total of Euro 2028 here in the Toon, the best city in the UK by far, and this tournament is going to be across Ireland and Wales and that as well, Scotland, Hampden Park and the rest of it. We're one of 8 venues, I think it is, and like I say, we're going to have 4 group stage games and 1 round of 16 game, and that will be England if they manage to top their group. So we were kindly invited along last night with local media, the council, Pete Graves from Sky Sports, he was on there as well. Doing a fantastic job of hosting as per usual. And speaking of Pete, he's actually got an event next week in the Toon. Next Wednesday, he's got current Toon right back Kieran Trippier in the lineup alongside former Toon right back, the legend that is Warren Barton, and Stuart Pearce joining him for what should be a class night, to be fair, at the Opera House there. So if you fancy that, I think tickets are still available. You can have a look on their website, or the information would have been on the poster that is on your screen. We're looking forward to that one, and we enjoyed last night, me and Keg, at the event. There was some good crack there from War Flags, from the organisers, from Pete and everyone else as well, and the players were on the screen as well. We had messages from Tonali, from Asula, from Gordon, about what it is going to be like having the Euros in Newcastle. Such a major competition, I tell you what. I hope bloody Sandro Tonali's still here playing for Newcastle in 2028, if recent reports are to be true, eh? Who knows? But yeah, it'll be interesting anyways. Once that rolls around, it'll be class for the city, man. There's going to be a 20,000 capacity fan zone in an iconic location, probably the quayside, for that tournament, where it's going to be a festival of football. Even on days where there's not games, there's going to be live music and events and all these sort of party atmosphere things going on throughout that whole month of June to July of 2028. So like I say, only about 1,000 days to go, so not long, eh? Set your alarms for it. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see some big teams, some big players here in the northeast, and it's going to be a class event, man. Really looking forward to that one. But when I put that video out there last night of us at the launch party and some of those details that were breaking live exclusively, there was a lot of people in the comments saying, "Oh well, that's a new stadium cancelled then, isn't it? No new stadium for us. If that means that St James's Park's still going to be here in 2028, we're expecting a new stadium announcement. Well, last year, to be fair. Probably going to be early next year now, but I think that we were told that this time last year. But, we're talking about maybe towards the end of next season, we'll hear an announcement of some sort on the stadium, whether that is the anticipated new one in Leazes Park, or it's still on the table that we may just redevelop the current stadium. All options are still open, nothing is being concluded, or those that do know aren't allowed to tell you, NDAs and all of that sort of stuff. Nothing officially announced yet. We can all hear the rumours, the guesswork. I'm still staying. I'm still getting told that it will be that new stadium in Leazes Park. But again, nothing signed off yet. Nothing official. So could it be the case that we do stay at St James's Park? That we may just redevelop it, increase the Gallagher stand to your 60-odd thousand? We'll wait and see. I still think for the benefit of it, it will be a new stadium, because as the owners and people have said in the past, this is a once-in-a-lifetime check. You're not going to get a real deal of huge benefits by just adding an extra 10,000 onto St James's Park. It's not going to really move the needle too much to be worth the enormous cost that it would be. So there is talks now, though, people speculating online, new stadium's not happening, we're going to be staying in St James's Park because Euro 2028, 2-3 years time, 2.5 years time, it's going to still be the same old St James's Park. We'll be there, that'll be there, you can't knock that down and then build that. Because to be fair, In my opinion, this is what will happen, and let me know in the comments below, and let us know what you think will happen as well, what you want to happen. It's a difficult one for me. I've said it many times on videos. Ideally, you would just be able to extend St James's Park for the history there, but at the same time, you kind of need that new refined, refurbished, shiny stadium, all multi-purpose sports venue to increase the revenue and all the rest of it. But the memories and everything at St James's Park, it's hard to let go of that, I understand. So it's a difficult situation for fans and the club to be in. But I still think it'll be a new stadium in Leazes Park, and that'll be able to be built in the background anyways. I don't think it'll contradict the fact that there is going to be a major European Championships here in 2028. It doesn't change for me. They know this. It hasn't been a surprise. Newcastle has been listed as a host city for a while now. So while the planning and the developing of that potential new stadium in the background has been going on, they knew fine well that all this was coming and that the Euros is happening in 2028 in Newcastle upon Tyne. So it doesn't change anything for me. It's not like we are going to knock down the current St James's Park and build over it. It'll be interesting. We don't know yet at all what will happen to the current stadium, whether it be kept for the women's or a different option there, or if the will just knock it down and turn it into bloody student accommodation probably. That's all that is around St James's Park now, isn't it? Or some sort of fan zone or whatever. We don't know yet. But it's just being able to build that new stadium in Leazes Park while this is going on, and then after Euro 2028, you'll see the new stadium. Probably 2030 now, because they're not going to announce what's going to happen until 2026, and then it'll be a few years until it's built, and then the Euros would have been gone, and then they can sort everything out. Because I was looking at some recent evidence of what's been going on in terms of new football and stadiums, and obviously the most recent stadium to be built in the Premier League is Everton's Hill Dickinson on the Merseyside banks there on the river, and that took 4 years. Spurs' new stadium, we're saying new, it's been there a few years now, that also took 4 years. So again, this is the sort of time frame we'd be looking at. If they announce the stadium in 2026, then it won't be until around that 29, 30, maybe even 31. God, that sounds like it's miles into the future, and it's really not that far. Then that would be the accurate time frame for a new shiny Premier League stadium to be built, and that's without major complications as well, and what could happen, what could go wrong. There was plenty that went wrong in the development of the Spurs stadium. It was 4 years to be built from that first brick being laid, but it actually took 2 decades to plan it. Now obviously that's not going to take that long for Newcastle, well, you hope not. But when Danny Levy came in 2000 in the ENIC group, they said they were going to build that new stadium, and then it didn't end up happening for another 19 years. So yeah, that was all the planning and everything. We're already planning. The announcement should be soon. Same sort of thing with Man United, the old Trafford to the new Trafford. That's going to be a few years in the making as well, but there's a bit of a hold up on that one as well. Apparently that might not happen or might not go ahead as it seemed on those images that were leaked, and that is actually one of the reasons I got told why Newcastle United don't release any official artwork or videos or anything yet in case things change, because that big bloody circus tent that Man United put out there, the plans for that could be scrapped now, so it all looks a bit pointless and silly and a waste of time. So we want to make sure everything's 100%, everything's signed off with the council and all the greenkeepers and hippies and all that want to keep Leazes Park going. You know what I mean? Protect the turtles. Protect the turtles? What? I don't think I've seen turtles in Leazes Park. Protect the badgers. That's what I was going to say. Turtles. There might be turtles in Leazes Park. Let us know if you've seen any turtles. Ducks, swans, you know, the magpies, wildlife around here, whatever. So, you know, they want to make sure everything is signed and sealed and delivered before announcing things and getting carried away. So, people online circulating and speculating, that means the new stadium's not happening. Yes, we're staying in St James's Park. Nobody knows publicly yet. There will obviously be people behind the doors of the ground and the training ground and at the club, higher up than my pay grade, that know exactly what has happened officially. Again, like I say, I'm still getting told that it will be a new stadium in Leazes Park, but it's not official. They could come out tomorrow and say, oh, this happened, that happened, didn't go our way, it's going to cost too much money. Actually, yeah, we're trying to stake 10,000 on the Gallagher. It's all up in the air, so I'm not going to say it's definitely happening. But in my opinion, it will happen. It will be Leazes Park. That will be a new stadium. But people are starting to suggest that it could remain St James's Park for longer than we think because of the Euros coming in just over 2 years' time. And there was a report recently on a new stadium plan and what we are basing that new stadium off, which we'll touch on briefly now. We may as well over here. And while I'm here, I may as well talk about the hat that I'm wearing. They are back in stock. They flew out last year. Shout out to everyone that's bought them in the last couple of years, to be fair, but last year was amazing. the amount that was shipped off all around the world. So we've got the new hats back in for this winter, the black ones I'm wearing now, the white ones, and also on the magpiechannel.com we've got new snoods. So we've got some snoods now to keep you nice and toasty in the Gallagher or wherever else you are this winter, whether you're at the stadium, walking your dog, it doesn't matter. You can wear this snood, it'll keep you cosy, and it's based on obviously loads of famous Newcastle kit designs of the past there. So you can have a look on the website, grab yourself one of those, and we'll send it out next day for you. I've actually just been delivering one there to me that ordered one. If you're watching, mate, thanks very much. You actually, unfortunately, wasn't in, or fortunately, you might not want to see my face in real life. But if it is in Newcastle, you might actually see my face in real life. Mate, give a little knock on your door and deliver the hats or the snoods or whatever personally to you. So there we go. Let us know if you fancy any of those. Just going to head over to magpiechannel.com, and we'll also be having Christmas jumpers and hoodies on there as well. You'll see it on your screen, but I actually need to put them on the website tonight. So if you're watching this video straight away, you might have beat me to it, but I'll try and get them on there tonight so you can order them nice and sharpish. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, get some merchandise, you just know where to go, the magpiechannel.com, link in the description. So, as I was saying, Newcastle United are going to be inspired and basing their new stadium on the NFL team Las Vegas Raiders, who they have the Elegant Stadium, which is a 65,000 capacity, which opened in 2020. However, that's just a reference point for our new design. The proposed new ground at Leazes Park is going to have a capacity of at least 70,000, which I've been calling for on the channel for ages. It has to be at least 70, no less than that. Maybe even more, to really make a difference. Because if they're talking about, like we mentioned earlier, Gallagher extension to 62 or 65, minimum 70, man, easily done. This new 70,000 seater stadium will incorporate major fan experiences such as a Wembley Way, a pedestrian approach, and dedicated stack-like hospitality, retail and leisure areas. We mentioned this in other videos. I'll show you the images again there now of a potential walkway to the stadium, just as Wembley does have. No further announcements are expected this year from the club. Be lucky visibility next year from the club, to be honest with you. But positive talks have been held between interested stakeholders. This is according to Joel Bland there. There's actually currently a 10-year waiting list for corporate boxes at Newcastle, so they want to capitalise on that. Get more people in, get those hospitality areas filled, but obviously mainly as well we have to focus on the everyday fan and making sure a lot more kids growing up can access Newcastle United and be able to head into that stadium, watch their beloved team, and the families can take their kids and all the rest of it, and just every fan can try and get into the ground, because there's that many people missing out on games now, the Champions League games, Premier League games, because the demand is through the roof compared to what St James's currently holds, the 52,000. So yeah, 10-year waiting list for corporate boxes. There could be God knows how many waiting lists for season tickets or everyday fans. So this Las Vegas stadium is deemed a reference point for that new one in Leazes Park. But that'll do for this video right now. Let me know your thoughts on the new stadium or staying at St James's Park, and of course Euro 2028 as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. Give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.